1884. Back when this was just a rowboat run by a teenager and ticket price was $1 imagine that. Yeah. As you can imagine, a lot has changed, but a lot has also stayed the same. As we make our way down the river, I'd like to start off with a Coast Guard mandated safety lecture so that you can't sue me. First of all, feel free to stand up at any time if you like it, your full 360 view in. Just make sure you got your sea legs on and that you're good and well balanced, because otherwise we don't want anybody, falling around, hurt themselves. You especially don't want to fall on the glass, because that is real half-inch thick plate glass you're looking at there. Perfect for looking through, but not so good for falling on. It would probably break, and the fish would probably laugh at you, so... Also notice the fire extinguishers in the upper hand corners, as well as the first aid kit, which is here in the back. If you need a Band-Aid or an aspirin for more serious medical emergencies, please get my attention, let me know. We'll always be happy to take you back to the dock if you need. And as for the life jackets, those are overhead. We have child size in the front and adult size in the middle and back. Just pull them down if necessary. Over your head, strap around the waist, flip in the front, exit through the front or the back, and then make for the shoreline like your life depends on it. And if you do need any assistance in the water, don't worry, the gators are happy to come and get you, as always. Luckily, we've not needed the gators yet, so I intend to keep it that way. Let's make this tour a safe one, right? Once again, I'm Captain Martin. This is my first mate, Colton. Let's get this tour underway. You're on the Silver River right now, by the way, most of which is between 5 and 15 feet, but we will see deeper in certain places. Looks like we're looking at about 8 feet, I'd say now. The grass can be deceivingly long in places. We're home to about 30 kinds of fish, including common shaft like these blue ones, and sunnies like these smaller ones. We also have 7 types of bass, 2 types of catfish, 2 types of gar, mullets, bowfins, and more.
I didn't know mullet would be in here.
Down here, we have our first spring already. If you see where the rock opens up,
See it down there?
it's a 26-foot deep event known as the Spring of Stars. Named after the many Hollywood movie stars that have filmed here, bless you, over the years. Including, but not limited to, Burt Reynolds, Jerry Lewis, Jackie Gleason, James Dean, Jane Russell, Sean
see the rocks
Connery,
moving?
all sorts of people that, judging by the demographics, you've probably not seen in a
That's
movie
the Loch
before.
Ness.
Although Brie Larson did film here once when she was a kid, so there's that. How about Johnny Weissmuller? Does anyone recognize that name?
Tarzan.
Tarzan, that's correct!
He brought the
You
monkeys.
got a trivia question, yes! Congratulations. Yes, the original Tarzan, Mr. Weissmuller, played him in 4 of 12 Tarzan movies which were filmed here in the 1930s and 40s, mostly owing to the quality of the waters. I mean, where else in nature do you find water this clean? That's because it is all spring generated, fresh out of the ground every day, averaging 72 degrees Fahrenheit and usually upwards of 99% pure, which according to the FDA makes it theoretically safe to drink. I emphasize theoretically because the rest of it comes from the fish. Yes. Matter of fact, we've been a wildlife preserve now since 2013, which has put an end to Hollywood production here. Although we do make exceptions for wildlife content for National Geographic and things like that, let's say. So you could say the fish are the real stars now. Some even call them starfish.
Can I allow swimming here?
Nope. Wildlife preserve laws. No swimming, no fishing, no hunting, no scuba diving. I mean, you can do that, just be ready to pay about 50 times what it costs to go to the pool with police fines. Anyway, on that delightful note, moving on beneath us, you should see a 36-foot deep cave, which was originally called the Creature Spring. The Creature Spring, which got its name from the fact that we've had 3 creature-themed movies which have had scenes filmed in it. And those were The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature from the Black Lagoon, and The Creature from the Black Lagoon Walks Among Us. All 3 of which used that cave to do the underwater cave shots of the creature's home. In fact, the guy who played the creature, a stuntman named Rico Browning, he could supposedly swim down there, perform a stunt, and come up again, all holding his breath. As long as 3 minutes sometimes. good skill to have when you're playing a water-breathing fish monster, don't you think? I think the bubbles from oxygen tanks would have given away the illusion. You might have also seen his name on the credits of a TV show he created called Flipper back in the 1960s. That was filmed in the Florida Keys, I do believe, so you can go there for the Flipper tour now. What's he done here? Yeah, so we have indoor voices here. So I'm trying to focus. It's been a long day. Alright, as we come down here, we have our next spring waiting for us. This is a 23-foot deep vent known as the Encore Spring. Named for the fact that, well, you can probably guess why just looking at it. All that white stuff coming out of there as the water pushes it out. And yeah, sure, we call that popcorn, but most, oh my god, is that what I think it is? I'm not talking about the common moorhen, I'm talking about the manatee swimming to the right of us. Yeah, that's a manatee. Seems to be hauling its way up the river. You can kind of see the gray line making its way there.
Where's that little boat?
That is a manatee.
You see it?
Yeah.
Where's it at?
You don't see that little thing coming out of the water sticking out?
Man, stop being selfish, man. Everybody else wants to see it too.
Ah, there it is. Look. Look.
Which way? Man, old people, we can't see that far.
Yeah, you can see it just to the left there. To the left of us now. Yes, the creatures that when the Spanish first came here in the 1700s, they called mermaids. Of course, these days people call them sea cows. Because just like cows, they eat, I believe, 10 to 15% of their weight in grass every day. Given that a manatee can't get up to 2,000 pounds, you gotta imagine that's quite the weight. Maybe more than your body weight every day. Not that they're related to turtles, they're not. Did I say turtles? I meant cows. Somebody said turtles, so my mind is going insane. No, does anyone here know what the manatee's actual closest land-living relative is? No, I just said it's not the cow.
Hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus is close.
Platypus?
Further.
Rhino?
Rhino is even closer.
Elephant?
Elephant, that is correct. The
They
elephant.
have good memories.
Yes. I mean, just like elephants, they have eyes, nose, mouths, cheeks, chin. But most importantly, just like elephants, they have tusks on their mouths. You just don't see them because they're hidden underneath their Anyway, where'd it go? Oh, well. Oh, yeah, there it is. They're to the right of us now. Today we do have more to see, so we gotta get moving.
Just chilling.
Damn it. Stupid window.
I see a turtle there on that island. Did you see it sitting there on that stuff there?
They don't have no damn alligator snapper turtles here? Like
Just like
Wakaiba?
the ones you see in pet shops. Only a little bit bigger, because out here in the wild they can get up to 2 or even 3 feet long. Imagine that. All that turtle soup with a built-in bowl. Well, not here. They're protected by the state as long as they're on this land. Alrighty. Does anyone see anything else out there? Well, I do see lots and lots of grass beneath us, so might as well talk about that. Most of that grass you see there is known as eel grass, and I'm not sure why. As far as I know, there's no eels here. Most locals tend to call it riverweed instead, because it is very similar to seaweed. But it's not river, so you know, gotta call it something else. It provides food, not only for algae, but also for a lot of different fish, as we've mentioned. And speaking of the algae, some of it's native, some of it's not. And that's what keeps this water clear, even as it continues to flow, because algae produces nitrates that eats away at algae and dust and things like that. And it looks like we have some wood ducks here in front of us to the left. And also coming up in this area, there should be something beneath us. You guys see that long, hollowed out half of a tree trunk lying there? Now that's not just a tree trunk, that is actually a Native American canoe. Yes, the remaining 25 feet of what was once a Native American canoe belonging to the Timucua tribe, which was the main tribe here from the 1200s to the 1800s. And according to scientists, that one has been lying down there for over 500 years now. And that's because, like all their canoes, it is built from a cypress tree, their wood of choice, because it produces a compound known as cypressine, and that is what has allowed it to remain as preserved as it is, even after all those hundreds of years. Some amount of it should be here 500 years from now, according to scientists, so book your tickets, people. And as for this other object next to that tree trunk, this whole line of rock-like structures, well, you might not even believe me if I tell you that that is the fossilized algae-covered backbone of a sauropod dinosaur. And you should, because it's a rock.
Got him.
Yeah, sorry about that. See, we thought it was a dinosaur bone once too, but then some scientists came along and they did what scientists do best, and that is kill magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, as we get to the other side of this particular grass patch, we'll be getting a look at our next major spring. A spring which is my personal favorite of all the springs in this park. Not just because a bunch of baby fish tend to swim around it. The spring that we call the Blue Grotto coming up here. A 30-foot deep event, which was actually the first spring to get its name, too. It was originally named in 1916 by none other than Thomas Edison, when he did the first ever piece of underwater footage filmed here, 7-minute short called The Seven Swans. Taken aback by the blue lime rock, we called it the Blue Grotto. It's also the most powerful spring we're looking at so far, producing an average of 80 million gallons of water a day. Sometimes as much as, I believe, 12 to 14% of all the water in this river on the average day. To put that in perspective, we have over 120 documented spring events. We're looking at the 5 largest ones. They alone account for almost 80% of all the water produced here.
Caught in a stream.
Oh, this
A
guy.
lot bigger than that.
So these are all baby fish?
Most of these you're looking at are baby fish, because the top level of the water is very calm, because we're so far from the river. There's a lot of fish nests built up among the grass around here, so this is quite the haven for baby fish in this particular area. Yeah. We all make mistakes, don't we? So, here's a question. Where does all that spring water come from?
Comes from
That
China.
is correct. Aquifer. One aquifer in particular, known as the Floridan Aquifer, which is one of the largest aquifers in the country, spanning about 100,000 square miles of Floridian soil, and sometimes going as deep as 1,000 feet beneath the surface. And all that water would have been rain and river water seeping through the soil and collecting there. Now, after about 100 years of heating up and pressurizing the Earth's crust, it is rising up and escaping. Kind of like hot water boiling out of a tea kettle, if you will. And that's why, no matter what day of the year you come here, the water will still be 72 degrees Fahrenheit. But again, we don't allow any swimming here for wildlife preservation reasons. But, you know, feel free to try anyway. Just be noticed that we're always watching. Always watching. Seen any more fish down there? Well, let me guess. You've seen one that's big, blue, buggy eyes with golden gray stripes? Like that one? Those fish are one you might be familiar with. They're called tilapia. Might have seen them at Publix. They're a famous fish farm fish here, even though originally they're from Africa and Asia. Somehow they came into this river, I want to say 40 years ago, and now they make up between 60 and 70% of the fish population. And again, no fishing, so there's not too much we can do about them.
What about that little blue guy with spines?
Well, you mean that black nurse shark looking thing we just passed over there?
Yeah.
That was an armored catfish, another invasive species from South America. Yeah, another species we can't do too much about. In fact, every fish in this river is named Lucky. Speaking of black armored objects, I do believe that is an alligator behind us. Yeah, if you look down the cove, there is a bit of a stump of log towards the edge of the water, and I do believe that is an alligator lying on top of it.
Oh, I see it.
Oh, my goodness.